Hey everybody, it's Debbie O'Neill of Scrap Me Quick Designs, and I wanted to share with you today a special project that you might be interested in with fall coming up. And first off, I wanted to share with you that there is a new Close to My Heart catalog that is our Holiday Expressions catalog, and it runs September 1st through December 30th of 2017, and it has a lot of awesome holiday type papers and stamp sets and projects. And so what I wanted to share with you today is I'm going to flip through the catalog real quick, and then I'm going to show you a project that I made that you may want to make yourself. So I'm just going to quickly flip through here, and right during the month of September, if you purchase anything from my Close to My Heart shop, I am donating the proceeds to a family that I've adopted that flooded during Hurricane Harvey here in Houston. And so all the proceeds, my commission, would go to that family. So if you want to purchase, that would be awesome. Do it in the month of September. So there's some really beautiful things, and I'll be going through and showing you other projects that I'm making. But as you can see, there's Halloween. I'm not going to slow down. We're going to get back to just flipping through the calendar. There's all kinds of awesome Halloween stamp sets if you're looking for those. There's some beautiful card kits. This Falling for You is the project that I'm going to show you here in a minute, but this has absolutely beautiful papers in it, and there's a scrapbook kit, and there's all kinds of beautiful stamp sets, and I'm just doing this very quickly. You can find the catalog on my shop. There is a Christmas paper that is Berry Christmas that is really super cute paper, and I'll be doing some projects with that to show you as well. And I just wanted to give you an idea. There's all kinds of awesome Christmas holiday, winter holiday stamp sets. This really super cute tag set that I will be doing a project on very soon to show you guys. Just really super cute. There's even in this one, there is a paper doll stamp set that comes with, you can get it with the thin cut so that you can cut out the shape. So that's really fun. Here's another Christmas card making set. Then the other collection is called Silver and Gold, which is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm just going to flip through. So again, lots of stamp sets and thin cuts with this set as well. And just super, super cute. Okay, there's also a card making set for that. And then there's even Picture My Life cards. So for those of you that do Picture My Life, which is these, you know, the cards that you slip into the projects, we also carry all kinds of albums and the different size sheet protectors, page protectors, and then all the different types of cards. And we have embossing folders, which I'm going to be showing you today. And also we have a variety of thin cuts that we're selling now. And if you purchase in the month of September, you can receive, if you have a $50 or more order, you can get this whole stamp set here for only $5. It's normally a $17.95 stamp set, and look how cute it is. Really super cute. I'll be doing some projects with this as well to show you. And but I just wanted to show you. So the the holiday catalog is out. Lots of fun stuff. You can see this online at my shop at debbieoneil.closetomyheart.com and purchase during the months of September, and the proceeds are going to go to my family that I adopted for Hurricane Harvey. It's a single mom with 3 kids who could really use the help. So thanks for that. But what I'm going to do today to show you is I'm using this card making workshop. And the card making workshop allows you to create 12 cards using all the materials that are provided in the kit. And you get a stamp set, you get the card stock sheets, and there are directions that you can download from my Close to My Heart shop to show you how to do this. And you get this beautiful white and gold ribbon, really pretty. And you get all the card bases and the envelopes to make the 12 cards, and you get the stamp set, and that's it's G1139, and the price is $26.95, but you make 12 cards. Really cute. There are some other supplies listed here that I will be using in my project to show you how to put the cards together. Now, let's see what materials you need. Okay, so the card kit makes 6 of 2 different designs of cards. This is the first one we're going to make. It's really pretty. Wouldn't this be great to send out to your friends for the fall? I know we all get so busy during Christmas time or holiday time. We often don't have time to actually get our cards in the mail, but maybe get the card kit and get fall cards out, and you could send a fall message to your friends wishing them a happy holiday coming up. And you might have a little more time now. Anyway, so this is how cute this card looks, and what you're going to need for this is, and you'll order the kit, so you'll get all the papers that you need, and then there's an instruction sheet that tells you what sizes you need to cut all the paper. You get the white card base, and you get matching envelopes for all the cards, so you don't have to purchase anything else. But we're going to have this, so that'll be what we're going to work on today. And you'll get the stamp set in with the card kit, okay? So the stamp set, if you have not used the Close to My Heart stamp sets yet, they come in their own little protective package, and it tells you the name of the stamp set here, okay? And they come with this foam piece, okay? This foam piece is not just packaging. This is actually to help give you a better stamped image, okay? So, and then we only sell high quality acrylic stamps that are awesome to use and give you great impression. So you'll have the stamp set. You will need to have an acrylic block, and this is the 2x2 acrylic block that we sell, so you'll need something about that size, and you'll need some scissors, and because we'll be cutting ribbon, and you will also need some ink. Now the ink that you're going to need needs to be an archival quality ink, or it needs to be one that is a permanent ink. So there are 2 choices that you would have. We sell Close to My Heart Archival Black Ink, which is a solvent-based permanent ink. And then this one is Memento. We also sell this in my shop. And this one's Tuxedo Black, and it is also a fast-drying dye-based ink. Okay, now why do you need this kind of ink as opposed to a dye ink? Because we're going to be using watercolor or our alcohol markers. And so you want that image that you stamp to stay so it doesn't run. If you're using a dye-based ink and you add any alcohol ink or watercolor on top of it, it's just going to smear that black ink. So you need something that is permanent. So you want either an archival black ink or you want the Memento ink. Okay, so either of these would be fine. I'm just going to use my Memento for right now because I had already had that out. And so you'll have your stamp set, you'll need a block, and then in the kit you'll get a sheet of white paper that you're going to use, and it'll tell you what size you need to cut things to for the pattern paper and the cardstock. Okay, so the other thing that we're going to do is we will be I'm going to show you to do it with using some watercolor and a watercolor brush. We sell these awesome watercolor brushes, and the reason why I like the watercolor brush is that this is refillable, and you put water in this tube, it just unscrews, and you fill it up in the sink just like this, and then you squeeze it back on. Now, why do I like this better than having a separate paintbrush and a thing of water? I'm really messy, and one of the things I don't like about watercoloring is I end up dripping water everywhere. With this, I don't have to worry about I'm going to have a little bowl of water sitting on my desk that I will potentially knock over because I am the world's biggest klutz. So I like this because it'll have the water in the tube, and I'm able to then put this on, and y'all will see me use that in a minute. Okay, this is the watercolor set that Close to My Heart sells, and that is the watercolor brush. I will also show you that we can color our stamped images using alcohol markers, okay? So if you have alcohol markers, we sell the Shin alcohol markers. They come in a variety of colors, and so those, you'll see me using those on the images. And we will also be using one of our new embossing folders. And this one, I'm going to take it out of the packaging here real quick. And this is brand new. It's in that holiday catalog, and this is leaves. And it's so pretty. Can you guys see the leaves? Very cool. There you go. So the leaves are really cool. So, and it's a nice 5x7 size embossing folder, and I'm going to show you how we're going to use that here in a minute with our Cuttlebug. Okay, so the first thing you'll need to do is you'll have your white paper. You will have cut according to the directions, you will have cut all your individual pieces out to make your card, all right? And so I'm going to take an acrylic block, okay, and I cut out some circles because one of the images, now these I've already stamped, but I just wanted to quickly show you how you do this for those of you who haven't stamped before. And your acrylic block has a smooth surface, and you're going to just put your stamp on there. Ta-da! That was it. Yay! Now, if you're using a brand new stamp, you just need to season it a little bit. What in the world do I mean by that? Seasoning is when you kind of help remove any of the dust or any oil that's on a brand new stamp. Sometimes they have machine oil from when they pop them out of the presses, and all you do is I just take my hand and just dab it on there, and then that is what is seasoning, and you only have to do it the first time you use that stamp. Okay, so I'm going to take my little white circle that I cut out because I'm going to stamp this word day that we're going to use for our stamp, just to show you how to stamp here real quick. And I'm just going to take that, go straight down onto my image, and I want to make sure that I have good coverage. Now you can see the word day, okay, and I'm going to take my little stamp. Now you'll notice that I have it sitting on my pad, on my foam pad. That's going to give it a little bit of a cushion so I get a nice clean image. So you always want to stamp with my close to my heart stamps, you always want to stamp using this foam pad underneath your paper. And then because our stamps are acrylic, we can line that up really easily onto our cut paper. And I'm just going to press it on there. I like to hold it there for a second and then lift it straight up, and then I'll just drop that right off. And now we have a perfectly stamped image. Okay, now I'll let that dry for a second, and then I want to put my stamp set away. Now I would continue to go ahead and make as many of these as I'm going to need when I am working on my card kit. So you will make 6 of these same cards, and then you'll make 6 of another kind. So you will do all that stamping, but we're not going to take time to do that right now. But that's how you stamp, okay? And then you will have your images, okay? You will need some scissors because you'll need to fussy cut these afterwards. But let me show you the card again that we're making, okay? So this is an image here, which is on the stamp set, so you will have stamped one of these. You will have stamped a leaf, and you will have stamped the day, okay? And you will have stamped on a rectangle piece of white paper, you will have stamped the stamp on here that says have a happy, okay? So you'll have all of those stamped. This one you're not going to color on, so we're going to set that aside, but we are going to color on these 3 pieces. So what I wanted to show you was, here's the watercolors. Let me turn this so y'all can see that better, okay? And I have my watercolor brush, and what I want to do is this needs to be kind of a peachy kind of color, okay? And I want to pick a lighter color for the center. So I'm just going to grab this, and I'm just barely squeezing this brush and getting a little bit of color. And I'm using, this is a palette here on the side, okay? And the great thing about our watercolors is they have beautiful color to them. So they're very rich watercolors. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to, because we use that archival quality ink, I can just paint straight over the top of that and it's not going to smear the black. Okay, that's why that was important. So I want to just color over the whole thing. Okay, and then I want to create a little bit of a darker outline around it, like I did on my sample here. So I'm going to pick up another color. So for this, I think I'm going to use this one. There again, I'm using the same brush, and I just want to put a little bit of water. I'm just barely squeezing it and getting a little bit of this, and I'll make a palette here. Okay, so I like that, but I want to mix it with the darker, with the lighter color. Just like that. So you can mix your colors also to give it a different tone. And now I just want to go around I'm just putting that next color around the edges. Okay. And you can kind of just, do that till it looks good to you. Okay, so now I have that piece done. Now this will dry. It'll take a few seconds to do that. Now with my brush, I can take, let me get that over here. Now with my brush, I can just squeeze it. There's a little squeeze point on here. You can't see it. It says push. And I can just squeeze this a little bit to get more water onto that. And then that's how I'm cleaning my brush. Okay, so I'm just cleaning my brush and now it's clean and I will be able to use it with a different color now. Okay, so that's how these work. And here, I'll go ahead and do a green one just to show you. So I'm going to use this lighter green here, and the more water you add to it, the lighter it gets. Okay, so here I picked up a little bit of color and then I just added more by water by just squeezing the brush a little bit, and I'm kind of watered this down pretty well. Okay, so now I'm going to take that leaf and I'm just going to add some color to the leaf, and if I want a little more color I can just go in and add a little bit more, and that's how you can get some shading. And I'm not a watercolor expert by any means, but it's kind of fun to play with it. Okay, so I've got a base layer of color on here, and then I want to add a little bit of a darker color on the edges of this. So I picked up another color and I just made my own little pool of color there. Okay, and I'm just adding a little bit to give this leaf just a little bit more definition. Okay, so it'll dry, but that's kind of how I colored it. So you can use watercolors to color your stamped images, which is really fun to do. And as you can see, it doesn't take that long. And I would just encourage you to, when you first get started, just stamp some extra images for you to play with as you work on your technique and get better at it. But I love using these brushes because it gives me a lot of control, and I don't have to me, it's just the easiest way for me to watercolor. I don't end up with way too much water. Okay, now you can, with our watercolor set, you can also, this pops off, and then I can just take this to the sink and rinse it, and then I can have a clear palette again. Okay, clean palette. So that's how the watercolors work. So you can do that. So that's kind of fun. And the colors will dry. I'm going to move those off to the side. And then the other way you can stamp your images, color your images, you can use markers. Okay, so these are alcohol markers. There's a bunch of different brands. You guys know the different brands. I'm using the Close to My Heart markers. They're made by Shin. They're one of the most well-respected alcohol markers on the market. And you could color. So I know a lot of you are really into coloring and you love to do that. So you can do that with alcohol markers. You can do it with even with gel pens. You could color stamped images. But the key there is to make sure that you have used the archival quality ink so that it's a permanent ink that won't smear your colors. Okay, so I'm just going to real quick do this. It's not going to be absolutely gorgeous, but it'll be nice enough. And I'm just going to add some color here. See, I'm not being too careful with it. I'm just coloring the image in, but that's awfully fun. So I'm just coloring. You can layer some extra colors on top with your markers if you want, with your alcohol markers. There's lots of different technique videos out there that you can use. These in particular are nice because they have a bullet point on one end and they have a chisel point on the other. So if you're coloring larger pieces, you can do that. I'm just going to color this in right here. And I want to put a little bit of color on there. And then I'm adding a little color on the outside here. Okay, and you can start seeing your image start to come to life. Okay, so you have a couple of choices. So when you're using stamps, you can color it with markers, you can do watercolor, you can leave it plain if you want, you could use colored ink if you prefer for your images. And I'm just kind of blending some color on here to make that look a little bit nicer. So, you know, you can layer your color on. Okay, so get that on there. Okay, so that's just a quick and dirty kind of coloring technique for when you're doing these stamped images. All right, then you would take your scissors, and these are my close to my heart. These are non-stick, which is awesome because if I'm cutting anything with a sticky layer to it, it's really great, but they have a nice sharp point, and then you would do what we call fussy cutting. So you would cut around your stamped image just like this, and you would cut all the way around and peel these off, you know, take these off as you're doing it. And then what you end up with is you end up with your cut image that you're going to use on your project. Okay, so once you have that done, so that's a couple options for you for coloring. And so I've got my pieces here. I've got my stamped image, so I've got my 3 stamped image pieces that I need. Okay, and these were all done with the watercoloring because I wanted to show that. And then you have a piece of gold cardstock that you've cut, and then we're going to use our tape runner, and we're just going to glue this together. So I'm going to show you how quick you can put the cards together. So what I would do is I would do all of my coloring of all of my images first, and then I would assemble my pieces. So I've got this centered, and then you need to cut a piece of ribbon, and that's going to go along here on the bottom. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip this over, and I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive on the back side, and then just fold the ends of the ribbon over the sides. Okay, so now I've got a little bit of that gold ribbon on the bottom of this. Okay, and then you will have cut out your pattern paper. Now this is 2-sided pattern paper. We have great pattern paper. There's all different kinds of it. This is that Falling For You paper and you can just buy a pack of paper too if you want the different things. And then you will have cut a piece of our cardstock. Now the Close to My Heart cardstock cuts great with the Cricut. I cut all of these with the Cricut actually, the Cricut Explorer. And our cardstock is now double-sided. So what does that mean? It is one color on one side and it's a deeper color on the other side. So you get kind of a two-tone look using the same piece of paper. So this is really nice to have the same tone but in 2 different shades. Okay, so woohoo! Let me see if I fold it that way you can kind of see the 2 different shades of it. Okay, now we're going to use the leaf embossing folder. Now this is an extra purchase from the card kit. You would need to purchase the embossing folder. It does not come with the kit. But so I'm going to take the piece of paper that I have. I'm going to put it into my embossing folder, just like so. I'm just going to lay it in there, and then I'm going to run this through my Cuttlebug. Okay. Now this is the manual die cut machine, and you fold it out like this. It sticks to your base, and then you need to have your plates that come with it. You have a platform base that's your A base, so that goes in first, and then you need your 2 B plates. Okay, so these are the 2 B plates. This is standard that comes with the Cricut Cuttlebug, and then you put one on the bottom, and then you put your embossing folder with your paper on the inside, just like this. You got your embossing, your paper in your embossing folder. Your it's sandwiched between the 2 plates. You're going to put that on your platform, and then you're going to run this through. Okay, just like this. Turns easily, goes straight across, yada yada yada, right? Okay, but after that, it only took a couple of seconds, but look what you've made. You have made a beautiful embossed with the leaves. Look how pretty that is. And then there's a deboss side, which means that it goes into the paper, and there's an embossing side, which means that it raises the image up. So you could use either side, whichever you prefer. Okay, and this is going to be the background on our card, and it's just going to add a little more interest to our card project than instead of it just being a plain card. So this is going to go down next on top of my card base. Now these make A2 size cards. I'm just going to add this, and now that we've got the pieces and we've assembled and we've colored, all we have to do is put our card together. So this is going to go first. Then you're going to have your piece of the pattern paper that you've already cut. Okay, and all the instructions will be on that instruction sheet that you can download when you make your purchase. And then I'm going to add this on to the back. Then we already created our little piece here, and this goes across just like this. Now these cards do not take that much time to make. Once you get started and you lay all this out, you can knock out all 12 cards pretty quickly. And then, so this is the finished card, and then this is kind of as we're working on it. Okay, we've got this part. Now then that's when you want to go back and add your beautiful pieces that you made. So you have a leaf, so you're going to add the leaf, and I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive to the bottom of my leaf, actually on top of my leaf, and then I'm going to stick it onto my my sunflower. Okay, so now I'm able to lay this on here just like this. Yay. And then I have my little day piece. Now you can see now that it's all dry how it's layered the color on there. And then I'm just going to use a little foam dot and put on the back of this just to add a little something to it. And then I'm going to add that right here on my card. So it says, "Have a happy day." Isn't that cute? I love it. And you can see there's a lot of dimension. It's really pretty. And just a little special bit of a card to send your friends for the fall. And then this is going to be part 2, and we're going to make this grateful card. So this is the card we're going to be making. And then you'll have all the pieces for your kit that you will cut out, and so you'll get the solid sheets of paper, and then the instructions that you can download when you purchase your kit will let you know what size you need to cut everything. So you can certainly cut it with your paper trimmer if you prefer, and then you would cut each piece. So this is our card stock. The kit comes with comes with 12 white card bases and also the matching envelopes. So you would be able, once you make your cards, you'll be able to get them in the mail right away to share with your friends. So the first thing I wanted to show you guys was I used watercolor, and I watercolored some of these images. Okay, so I stamped it with that archival ink, and then I watercolored, or I used our Shin alcohol markers. So whatever you prefer, you can color all your images. So once you get your images, you will have stamped it on a white piece of cardstock that comes in the kit, and then you're ready to start assembling once you color your images first. Okay, and then this piece actually was stamped using the little banner stamp. That's the little banner stamp that's on here, that's right there. Okay, and then you just use your scissors to what we call fussy cutting, where you cut around the image. So I just cut around the outline here. Okay, so this is actually stamped on a piece of colored cardstock. Okay, so you can stamp either on colored cardstock or white cardstock, that's your preference. And then to assemble this card, I'm just going to show you real quick on this. So I'm just going to use my tape runner, and I'm going to put my card base on first. I'm going to put my background layer first, and then you're going to take the piece of the pattern cardstock that you cut for this. One side has the pattern that we used on the first card that we made. Then we're actually going to use the flip side of this. So we just want to add some adhesive to the back of this. Okay, and before we stick this down though, I'm going to add some ribbon, and I'm going to then just stretch this ribbon across it like this. Okay, this is the white and gold ribbon that comes with the card kit, and I'm just going to wrap it around the back. I've already added adhesive to the back of the card, and that's all it's going to take for me to get this to stick. Is I've got adhesive on the back, and now I have that piece on here. Okay, so I've got that piece of ribbon on here, but before I put this on my card, what I want to do is I cut a second piece of ribbon that's shorter, and all I'm going to do to make a little tie on here is just wrap that around that first piece. And just pull it into a little bow like that. Okay, so we've got this piece on there now. That's how I did that. And then I'm going to lay this onto my card base, leaving a little bit of that dark background sticking out. Okay, and then the next thing you want to do is on the top of your pattern paper that you received in the kit, there is what they call a zip strip. And a zip strip is a piece that you're going to be able to cut off across the top of your paper. The one side of it will have like the name of the paper and that kind of thing on it, and then the other side though is a colored piece. Okay, like a border. Okay, so you're going to cut that piece off. I usually use my paper trimmer to do that, and then you're going to cut it to fit onto your background here, and the dimensions will be in the directions you get. And then I added some adhesive to the back of it, and then I'm going to lay that right on top of where I put that ribbon. Okay, so there we have our ribbon, and already our card's looking pretty cute. And then we're going to add our images that we colored. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the one that says "So Grateful," and I'm going to stick that right here on my card. Okay, and then I'm going to add my two leaves that I've colored. Okay, and these are all the images are from the stamp set that comes with the kit. I'm just going to add the leaves on there, and then I have this piece that I've colored, which is one of the flowers on here, and I am going to use a foam pop dot here and pop this up. Okay, and then I'm just going to add that right here. There again, these I use the watercolors, the close to my heart watercolors to color them, and then I'm just going to add that piece that I stamped on the colored cardstock that says that's a banner, and I stamped the word "For You" on here. Okay, so that would complete your card. So grateful for you. Ta-da! Okay. This card kit was the one that is the G1139. It's $26.95, and it comes with the 12 card bases and envelopes, the stamp set, and the colored cardstock, and the pattern paper that you will need for this, and a roll of the white ribbon with the gold. Okay, and then you would, if you don't have the inks or a tape runner or your scissors, you would be able to also pick that up in the shop. But thanks for watching. Like I said, I'm trying to help a family that lost everything in the Hurricane Harvey flood, and if you purchase during the month of September, I'm donating all my commission proceeds to this family to help them get back on their feet. So I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure you give me a thumbs up, and I will be doing more videos on different projects I'm making with items from the new seasonal Close to My Heart catalog, which has lots of fun stuff in it. So stay tuned for more. Bye.